Hello everyone and welcome to today's webinar. Welcome back from a very busy summer. It's just gone 1 o'clock, so I'm just going to give everybody a chance to join. Do feel free to drop into the Q&A box and say hi. We've disabled the chat feature as we've discovered it can cause problems for some people that use screen readers, but the Q&A option is still live. So we'll just give it a few more moments for more people to join. Feel free to say hi in the Q&A box. Hi Fiona, hi Darius, Rod, Rosie, Daisy. Glad you can make it today. Okay, so I think we'll make a start now. So hello everybody and welcome to our webinar today, which is top tips for boosting your digital skills with BT Group and Age UK. I'm Annie Mannion and I'm Digital Marketing Manager at AbilityNet, and I'll be running you through today's session. So just to go through a few bits of housekeeping, we have live captions provided today by Denise at MyClearText. So thank you, Denise. You can turn on the captions using the CC option on the control panel, and there are additional captions available via streamtext.net /player ? event = AbilityNet. And we also have slides available at slideshare.net /AbilityNet. And then you can also access them on our website at abilitynet.org.uk /olderpeopletech. And if you have any technical issues or you need to leave early, don't worry, you'll receive an email in a couple of days' time with the recording, the transcript and the slides. And then also, depending on how you joined the webinar, you'll find the Q&A window. So if you'd like to ask any questions of the panel, do drop those into the Q&A area. And any that we're unable to cover in the session will be answered and added to our website at Older People Tech as well. So just a reminder to those who joined a bit later, we've switched off the chat feature as we can, we've discovered it can cause problems for some people using screen readers. So please do use the Q&A for any comments. And then just finally, we've just got a feedback survey you'll be directed to at the end. So do complete that if you're able. Okay, so for those of you who aren't yet familiar with AbilityNet, we're now celebrating our 25th year this year, and we support older people and disabled people living with any disability or impairment to use technology to achieve their goals at home, at work and in education. And we do this by providing specialist advice, services, digital accessibility testing, training, and also free information like our fact sheets and a webinar like this. So moving on to today's topic, we'll be discussing how to ensure that senior citizens and disabled people are not left behind in the digital revolution, and also how tech can benefit everybody with everyday tasks. It's a very timely session as today is End Digital Poverty Day. So it's a good reminder that we can all support those who lack digital access and provide help to develop skills. So today we have joining us, we have Amy Caton, who is Senior Manager for Digital Talent and Impact at BT Group. And Kathleen O'Donnell is Digital Inclusion Learning Manager at Age UK. And then we have Alex Barker, who is a disability consultant at AbilityNet. And he's been with the charity for 20 years now, so nearly as long as we've been operating. Okay, so I'm just going to start with a poll before we begin to find out a bit more about you all. So I'm just going to launch the poll now. So just want to find out your best reason for attending today. If you can choose just one option. So I'm here to learn how tech can help me. I'm here to learn how tech can help someone I know. So that could be a relative or a friend. I'm here as a professional to learn how tech can help a client that I work with. I'm here to learn more about tech and accessibility in general, or I'm here for another reason. So feel free to drop that in the Q&A. So depending on how you've joined the webinar, you may find you can't see the poll, but you can respond in the Q&A area. So I'm just going to leave it a bit more for everybody to have a chance to vote. Okay, see a lot more of you choosing now. A few more people to vote. Okay. All right, I think I'm going to stop the poll now and then share the results. So we have the highest volume of people on the webinar are, I am here as a professional to learn how tech can help a client I work with. That's 49%. And then 40%, I'm here to learn more about tech and accessibility in general. Then we have, I'm here to learn how tech can help someone I know, a relative or a friend. That's 6%. 4%, I'm here to learn how tech can help me. And then no other reasons were cited for joining the webinar today. So yeah, it's useful to gauge the experiences of people joining us. And I think today's speakers will be able to offer some great insights. So now I'd like to introduce AbilityNet's Alex Barker. So he'll be sharing some great ideas for tech adjustments that you can make and the kind of apps and assistive technology out there that can make a difference to some older people and disabled people's lives. So over to you, Alex.
Right, good afternoon everybody, and thank you for that introduction, Annie. So I just want to take you through some of the really useful alterations and changes you can make to your system to make it easier to use. Next slide, please. Okay, so in today's session, we've only got 15 minutes, but we're going to be addressing lots of different disabilities. Sight loss, hearing loss, motor skills and cognitive disabilities. Can we have the next slide, please? Okay, so one of our flagship offerings from the website is something called My Computer, My Way. And basically this helps you set your device or your computer up for your particular reasons, your particular requirements. When a device comes out of the factory, it's built for a standard person. If there's one thing that we are not, it's not standard. And My Computer, My Way can help you change the settings if you've got a cognitive impairment, if you're vision impaired, or if you've got motor impairment, or if you've got hearing loss. Next slide, please. So here are some sight loss tech tips. So if you've got access to a smartphone, you have got a lot of built-in technology and a lot of apps that you can download. So Seeing AI is a wonderful app. You'll be able to point it at a document and have it read out. You can even ask it to take a picture of your surroundings and tell you what your surroundings are. Actually, let me just bring it up, and I will get it to I'll get it to tell me what it can see out the window. So if I point it outside my window, it says a view of the side of a tree and a sidewalk. You can tell it's American because we would use the term pavement, but it can basically see my back garden. And for someone who's blind or vision impaired, I think it's a real game changer. Look out does the same sort of thing as Seeing AI. So Seeing AI is for Apple devices. Look out is for Android devices. And Be My Eyes can put you in touch with volunteers all over the world who can identify what something is. So for example, I don't know if you can see this, but I've got a bottle here of water, and I could use seeing AI if I was visually impaired, and someone could tell me, okay, move a little bit left to your left, and you can get your bottle of water, or right, or whatever. So it's a real aid to help you be more independent. Now on the screen, there is stuff like magnification that's built in, and of course you can go to My Computer My Way and get the information that you're going to want. And to be honest, it's got some step-by-step information if you are very new to computing, or it's got some more general information if you've got a bit of experience with changing your settings. Can we have the next slide, please? Okay, so one of the most often common queries is, how do we make text bigger on the Mac or on a computer in general? And My Computer My Way has got step-by-step information on how to do that. So you can see that it's got lots of screenshots with helpful arrows that are pointing to the right section that you've got to click on. Sometimes when you get a list of settings, it can be very intimidating, and people are always thinking, which setting do I need to change? And My Computer My Way can help you make the changes to your system that you need. Can we have the next slide, please? Okay, so what we're going to do if you're hearing impaired or deaf. So again, there are lots of apps. So there's Apple Live Transcribe, which is actually built into Apple phones. A really good point to make is that you need to be running a fairly new iPhone to make this work. If you're running an older iPhone, you don't get that ability to run that built-in software. There's also Google Live Transcribe, and I'm always amazed at how good that is. Now for hearing aids, some have Bluetooth functionality and can connect to mobile phones. You can listen to your music or listen to phone conversations via your Bluetooth hearing aids. So the doorbell technology, so this is a doorbell that's got lights on it. You can also get mobile alerts to your smartphone to tell you who's at the door, and you can get flashing or vibrating ring doorbells. So you can be upstairs, and if someone knocks on the door or rings the bell, you can see on your phone who they are and whether you want to go down and see them or not. And of course, there are also hearing aids. So this makes it easier to hear in busy areas such as post offices, train stations, cinemas. Just make sure you put your settings to T panel. Next slide, please.
Alex, it's Annie here. So just to jump in, if it's possible to switch your camera on, I think that would be really useful for some people that
Yeah, of course.
Thanks.
Of course. Okay. So what do you do if you've got motor skills? So motor skills encompass quite a lot of different areas. So slowing the mouse down can often be really useful. I actually saw a stroke survivor last week who was using a mouse but found it too quick. So what we did, we slowed the mouse right down, so it took a bit more movement for him to get the mouse to go anywhere. Of course, there are lots of alternative keyboards and alternative mices and pointing devices. So I don't know if you can see this, now to turn it round, I've got a compact keyboard because I only have 2 fingers on each hand, so I want to be able to see. I actually want to be able to use the keyboard more effectively, so I find that useful. There are also larger key guards with key guards. So, for example, if someone's got Parkinson's or someone had a stroke and their coordination isn't what it was, you can certainly get a larger keyboard with larger key guard. Of course, one of the main issues as you get older is that you might have more and more difficulties with clicking the mouse. Well, there's software called Dual Clicker software. It costs about £10 and it will enable you to move the cursor to wherever you want the click to take place, and just take your hand away from the mouse. And if you set the software up, you should get a click, so you don't have to do any clicking. Let the software do the clicking for you. But we often get lots of queries about people using mobile phones, especially ones that go, my grandma's 78 and she needs help using a phone. I want to get her one that she can use. Now, there are quite a lot of phones out there, of course there are. And we like the Doro smartphones because the Doro range has been built specifically for older people that might not want all the best bells and whistles on a smartphone that younger people do. But there are a range of smartphones for older people, and you can always contact us for more information. Can we have the next slide, please? Okay, so one of the most useful top tech tips is filter keys. This is really, really useful for anyone who's got Parkinson's. So with Parkinson's, they might hold the key down for ages and get lots and lots of characters. But switch filter keys on a Windows computer, or switch slow keys on the Mac, and you can actually slow the keyboard right down, and it will make your computing use a lot more effective. And again, just spending 5 minutes is going to make a real difference to what you've got to do. Next slide, please. Okay, so as we get older, our cognitive ability may decrease. Hopefully it won't, but what do you do if it does? So there are several things that I just want to point your attention to. If you've got a family member who might have a tendency to wander because they've got dementia, you can have a GPS tracker, so you can track where they are. But of course, this requires them to have the watch on. Sometimes people will leave it in their bedroom or whatever, but you can put a smart sole GPS tag into your shoes or trainers, and it will tell you where your loved one is. You can also use your smartphone to see where your loved one is, but of course that requires your loved one to take their phone with them when they go out, and sometimes that's not going to happen. Now, smart technology like Amazon Alexa or your Google smart home device are really, really useful, because if you can't remember when you've got to take your pills, you could get a pill reminder skill which would say, David, take your pills, it's 2:30 p.m. If you've got, can we have the next slide, please? Okay, so if you've got an Amazon show, you've also got a little picture, and it might have someone taking a pill or a picture of a pill, just to give those visual reminders. Now on here we've got quite a number of smart tech. So 2 is smart plugs, so you can put a light or a fan into a smart plug. 3 is a smart door lock. 4 is a smart watch. 5 is a smart coffee maker. 6 is a smart Hoover. 7 is a smart light bulb. 8 a camera. 9 is a smart thermostat, and 10 is a location tracker. And all of these devices can be used by people who have got disabilities and or people that have got dementia. And it's all about making people more independent in their home, because at least they feel that they've still got functions that they can still control in their home. Next slide, please.
Thank you, Alex. Yeah, some really good idea of the flavour of some of the tech adjustments and the tools out there that can help with daily activities and common issues that you might need assistance with. So thank you. And we'll share resources and links to more information about some of the tools that Alex has highlighted in the follow-up email that you'll receive on Thursday this week. So I'd now like to welcome Amy Caton of BT Group, and she's going to be highlighting the Senior Skills Programme across the UK and some of the initiatives, including Tea and Tech. So over to you, Amy.
Thank you, and thanks again, Alex. That was a great session. I definitely learned some stuff there that I'm going to pass on to some of my older relatives. That was, yeah, really useful. So if I can have my first slide, please. I want to start off by just addressing why BT Group cares so much about digital skills, particularly those for over 65s. And there's 2 main reasons. The firstly, that it's baked into our values and the BT Group manifesto, which says that we want to accelerate growth through technology, but that it's not at any cost. It's growth that has to be responsible, inclusive and sustainable. And so our work around the Senior Skills Programme fits into that inclusive pillar, and we're really committed to making sure that all of the technology and the systems, the software, the hardware that we develop going forward is inclusive and means that as many people can use it and benefit from it as possible throughout society. But we realise as well that we also have a responsibility to help those who are digitally excluded to come in and to be able to boost their confidence and use the technology as well. And the second reason that makes it quite timely for us to be doing this work is the rollout of digital voice, which if you haven't heard of that already, you will, because it's industry wide. It's not just BT, and it's the move from analog to digital landlines, essentially to make them more efficient, more energy efficient, more sustainable, and basically able to cope with the demands of life today. We're working on rolling this out region by region, and we've had 2 million customers switch to date, so it's going pretty well so far. We've made a good start, and we've got great support from the Digital Voice Advisory Group, of which Age UK and AbilityNet are members, as well as other organisations, including the Department for Health and Social Care. So lots of people informing the decisions and giving feedback as we roll out the programme. And we've met a lot of people through different roadshows and things who do tell us that once they've had that conversation, once they learn a little bit more about that switchover, they're actually feeling very confident in making that change, which is brilliant. But just to set aside and hopefully alleviate any concerns, we're not initially going to be contacting any customers with additional needs, so like healthcare pendants, people without broadband, or people who don't have a mobile phone signal. Where we have that information, we will be saving these people to later, working very closely with the healthcare providers, burglar alarm providers, that kind of thing, to make sure that those organisations are ready as well. And we're also taking extra steps to support those customers who are over 70. So just extra support for them in making the switch, but also, allowing customers to nominate a family member or a friend or a carer or something like that who can manage the switch on their behalf. So really trying to be, again, as inclusive as possible. But all of this means that it just felt like a really a great time and opportunity for us to help people build their confidence around tech and digital more broadly. And so that's why we've launched this program. If I can have the next slide, please. Thanks. So we're working with AbilityNet, and we're fairly early days. We're just thrilled to have launched this campaign earlier in the year, but we're actually already extended and added a new location to the focus areas, which is really positive. So we're going to be onboarding new BT Group volunteers to support AbilityNet, particularly in the areas that you can see, so Edinburgh and Glasgow, London and the South East, Cardiff and the South West, Manchester and Birmingham, but all over. If we have a BT person in somewhere not one of those locations who wants to get involved, we're absolutely encouraging them as well to bolster the fantastic AbilityNet volunteers that we already are working with, and just really harnessing AbilityNet's tried and tested methodology of introducing people to technology, building their confidence, and then helping them thrive in the digital world with either small group learning or one-to-one. And we're really confident that we're going to help people feel better able to use their technology, feel more confident about digital in general, feel better able to participate in new activities and find information, whether that is money-saving deals, entertainment, just what's going on in their local area, that the whole gambit, and just generally feel more independent and able to manage life day to day, which of course is so important. I think we're very aware that there's lots, an increasing number of aspects of life that are becoming more difficult if you don't have those digital skills to, for example, booking a doctor's appointment. Banking online is becoming more important, as we're seeing fewer branches on the high street, not to mention just people having access, as I said, to entertainment, contacting family and friends, all those kinds of important things that can just really make life easier and make it more fun as well. So yeah, really exciting to be rolling this out and working with lots of different community groups in these areas as well. If I could have the next slide, please. To support this work, we also wanted to create a hub, a bit of a repository of some self-serve information that is completely free and open to everybody. So you've got the website at the top there. It's very straightforward, bt.com/senior skills. The top left image is actually just the landing page, the first top of the page that you would see, and then we have different information as you scroll down, which tells you a little bit about our partnership with AbilityNet, for example, a little bit about digital voice, and then you get to the links to our fact sheets, and that's the second image that you can see on the left, is just all of the different topics that we've listed. We've got about 20, and there's 2 versions of each. So these are the examples that you can see on the right. I've got just chose the digital voice one here. So you've got one that's titled Helping Your Learner Move to Digital Voice, BT's home phone service, and one that says Moving to Digital Voice, BT's home phone service. So the one that says Helping Your Learner is if you were a volunteer, somebody in a community group care home, or you just want to help your aunt or your next door neighbour and support them on that topic. And then the one that just says Moving to Digital Voice is if you want to self-serve as an individual, or perhaps you want to signpost somebody to self-serve. So we've got those 2 versions. They basically say the same stuff, have the same links, same information. It's just phrased slightly differently. But as I said, we've got about 20 different topics. So they range from learning how to use your device from scratch, how to stay safe online, how to sort of navigate social media, how to set up and use an email address, shopping online, banking online, podcasts, TV streaming, a whole range of things. And they've all got links to kind of further learning and lots of links back to the AbilityNet site as well. So that is there, and I would encourage you to take a look, and please do spread the word, because as I said, completely free. We would love these resources to be used as widely as possible. And I'll have my final slide, please, if I may. Thanks. And then the final piece is, in order to kind of help raise awareness and promote this work, we are running a few pop-up kind of tech cafes, or BT rooms, as it says. We do like the pun. Particularly aimed at over 65s. We're inviting everybody in these areas. You can see we've got Birmingham, Glasgow and Bournemouth over the next sort of 6 weeks or so. We would love people in those areas to come alone. They're very welcome to come alone, come with a partner, come as a small group, and enjoy a free tea or coffee and a free piece of cake. Cannot stress that enough. Might be no such thing as a free lunch, but there's definitely a free piece of cake on us in this situation. And choose what learning session they'd like to take part of. So we've got the topics listed here. We've got sessions on get started using tech, get started using the internet, staying safe online shopping, video calls and social media. So these are really just intro sessions. There'll be other people in the room in the cafe who are there for the exact same reason, just want to learn, whether it's dipping their toe in for the very first time or actually building confidence, learning a little bit more, and just kind of extending. We'll try and split people up into kind of ability groups, encouraging people to bring their own devices so they can test things out in the moment, learn how to do it, leave with a new skill. But we will have some devices as well if people want to kind of play around with something different, if they're maybe considering getting a tablet or a smartphone or something like that. We will have some stuff on hand for people to use. Unfortunately, we've got a slight technical glitch with the websites with the sign-ups for this, but I will pop my email address in the Q&A, and I'm very happy for people to reach out to me, contact me, whether you're an individual based in one of these areas and you would like to come along, or if you are, you have clients or other people that you would like to recommend this to. We'd love you to spread the word and to be part of this. So as I say, I will share my contact details, and then as soon as that web site is up and running, which will be in the next couple of days, I'll be able to share that and get people along. I mean, we've worked really closely on with AbilityNet to select these topics that they felt would be the most useful for people. So hopefully they will just serve as that really positive early introduction, whet people's appetites and get them out there with boosted confidence, ready to try new things with digital. But that is it from me. So I will pass back to Annie.
Thank you so much. And yeah, free cake sounds good. There's lots of questions that have come through during your session. So just to highlight again, we'll share links and how to get further information in the link that you'll receive in the follow-up email before the end of the week. So there'll be all sorts of links in there that you can go to find out further information, and some of which we'll cover in the Q&A as well. So thank you. So now over to Kathleen O'Donnell of Age UK Charity to describe some of the work it's been doing towards bridging the digital divide. And also Kathleen's going to play us a short video at the end too. So over to you, Kathleen.
Thank you, Annie. And Amy, brilliant name, BT Tea Room. I love that. But yes, so thank you, Annie and AbilityNet, for having me along today. My name is Kathleen and I work at Age UK. And today I'm going to talk a little about older people and digital exclusion, as well as a handful of services and resources we've been working on to help hopefully relieve this. So next slide, please, Louise. First of all, digital exclusion in older people. So as we know, the world is changing, particularly in a post-pandemic society. And as a result, many services and businesses have turned increasingly to technology. For some people, this has changed the way that they work, access key services, keep in touch, and generally live and enjoy their lives. But not everybody can or wants to use the internet. Here we've got digital exclusion definition, which refers to those people who are offline and who are therefore excluded from the many benefits that it can bring. We can see that figure here. Digital exclusion is prevalent amongst older people. Not only are older people less likely to go online, but those who use the internet are likely to carry out fewer activities. Next slide, please. And why is this? Well, let's take a look at some of the barriers that older people in particular might face. So first of all, they might not have access to the technology that they need to get online, whether that's a device such as a laptop or smartphone, or they might also not have access to connectivity, for example, Wi-Fi in their home or data on their phone. They might not have the skills and knowledge to be able to use the internet. A lack of skills can range from basic functions like switching on a device or not being able to confidently navigate the online world. They might not have the confidence to be able to use the internet and then to stay safe online. They might not trust online services and have concerns about the dangers, such as online scams. And this lack of confidence can make going online really quite scary and daunting. Older people might not have the motivation to get online. So if you don't know about the benefits that the online world can bring you, it might not seem interesting or necessary, and it might actually just be easier to simply continue doing things the way that you've always done offline. And last but not least, mentioned heavily today, of course, is that they might have additional accessibility needs, for example, a hearing or sight impairment, which can also make getting online a little more difficult. Next slide, please. So we know that being connected in the online world can bring around so many advantages for older people, and that's why Age UK have developed the Digital Champion Programme to help the older people who want to get involved. So funded by a charitable foundation who wishes to remain anonymous alongside Santander and Currys, the Digital Champion Programme aims to tackle digital exclusion by recruiting and training digital champion volunteers who will support older people to improve their digital skills, as well as providing loan technology to those without access. So next slide, please. So what does that look like? Well, here is our model. The Digital Champion model is actually made up of 4 different components, which address many of the main barriers I previously mentioned. So if you click now, Louise, thank you. Awareness raising is about the benefits of digital inclusion and digital skills development to older people, family and friends to help combat those uncertainties and worries around getting online. Click again, thank you. The programme also provides loaned devices and connectivity for those who would like to learn more about being digital, but who would otherwise not have any access. Thank you. The recruitment and retainment of our digital champions who will in turn support and deliver digital skill sessions to older people. And finally, the 4th piece of the puzzle is the digital skill sessions themselves. So where the digital champion works with the older person to identify their learning journey and develop digital skills and confidence. Next slide, thank you. So we are currently in the home stretch of our current delivery cohort with the Digital Champion Programme running in these 24 areas until November 2023. They started in June last year. So if you're interested or live near these places, do get in quick. More information about how to do this I've got on the next slide. If this isn't available in your area, not to worry. In June next year, more local Age UKs will commence delivering this model. So please do keep your eyes peeled on the Age UK website for more information closer to the time. Next slide, please. Thank you. So if you would like to get involved either as a volunteer or if you're interested to speak to somebody about getting support yourself, you can always check out the Age UK website or ring our free support line to find out some more information here. Next slide. So moving on from the current service, we have several resources which are also available to you. So this is really in support of older people, service providers, friends and family, we've created a series of these resources which are designed to develop skills and build confidence online. These are all available for free on the Age UK website. So what we have here, the Making the Most of the Internet guides, they're a collection of 12 online easy to use guides, and they cover topics such as the A to Z of online terms, so jargon busting, and things like using social media. These are suitable for digital champions or friends and family of older people to help guide and support them get through these different topics. Next slide, please. And Age UK have also created a series of offline resources, and these are called our digital inclusion guides. They cover 10 topics. And these walk through common activities step by step. They're written for beginners, intermediates, and also for advanced learners. So this makes them suitable for older people to use and kind of teach themselves. These are also available to download for free on the Age UK website. Next slide, please. And we also have created our awareness raising videos. So these are designed to inspire and motivate older people to get online. In this series, we hear from Jean and Lauren, Ruth and Derek, who all share their stories about how technology has made their lives a little easier and a bit funner. These are all available on YouTube and can be used by anyone really as part of their own awareness raising activities. And I believe we are about to watch one of these just now, so I'll hand back to you, Louise.
I first got online 20 years ago. I had one of those big computers with the wires going up the stairs. Grandchildren used to come round and my mouse was going like this. And I'm saying, oh, careful, careful, you'll break it. My family helped me to get to grips with my mobile when I first got it, helping me set it up, putting the contacts on and setting up a WhatsApp group so we can text and speak and send photographs to one another. I use technology all day long really. I do Pilates every day online. I wouldn't go to a class because it takes a long time to go there. I've got Parkinson's. My consultants reduced my medication because I'm doing Pilates and it's improved me. I have a Kindle. I get lost in a book and I've got 120 books. I think I'm on my third time now going through them. I find it easier than reading a book because I don't have the weight in my hands. I don't have to keep turning the pages over. I couldn't live without my iPad. I'll look at the weather, then I play games, banking, book tickets for the theatre, cinema, food shop, because I hate going around the supermarket. It was very tiring. And this way it comes to my door. Sometimes they bring it into the kitchen and unpack it for me. I've got an Alexa. I can listen to music and also get to remind me to take my medication because I have to take it every 3 hours. If I have an accident, I can tell it to ring my daughter. Every evening I watch television online. Catch up because my husband has different things to me and so we sit here ignoring one another with our headphones. I think it's important for older people to get online because they'll be left behind, especially if they're on their own. It's nice to have something to do. You can do whatever you like on it. If someone elderly came and asked me how to get online, I would say ask your family first, Age UK or any other organisation like that. Don't be frightened of it, just do it. The world is there. And it will come to you and someone comes in your house for a few minutes and it's done. Simple. Life before technology was boring, I think. I don't think I could live without it now. And I'd be lonely, I think, without it.
Fabulous. Well, I hope you enjoyed that video from Nanny Jean. And I think my final slide was just to say thank you for listening and a list of those resources where you can get them, a little bit more information about.
And then I moved to Yeovil,
Oh,
where the boys live.
I think her video.
I think another video is still playing. Yes, so contact details and more information are up there, but I'm sure they're available after the session too. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, some excellent, encouraging words of advice, both from you and also from Jean. So do check out the other videos in the series. Again, we'll share the links with you. So now I just wanted to check in again with everybody to find out about your confidence with tech, having heard the ideas from our guest speakers today. So here's another poll before we head into the Q&A. So I'm just going to launch that now. So are you now feeling inspired to share or try out some of the tech or adjustments ideas? So there's yes, I'm going to try some of your suggestions from today. No, I'm still not confident. I'm not sure, I'm going to think about it, or not applicable. So depending on how you join the webinar, you can respond in the Q&A panel if you can't see the poll. So do that if that's the case. You can see just over 75% of you have responded. Ooh, it's going up. Just leave it a couple more moments. Okay, I'm going to end the poll now and share the results. So a whopping 76% of you have said, yes, I'm going to try some of your suggestions from today, which is fantastic. So yeah, hope that all goes well for everybody. We have 16% say it's not applicable, and then 8% aren't sure, they're going to think about it. But the good news is no, I'm still not confident, had no responses. So yeah, I hope there's some really good tips that you've discovered today, and we'll share more in the follow-up. So I know that you've all got a lot of questions that you'd like to ask. So if you have a question, please do fire away in the Q&A window. I really doubt we'll manage to cover everything right now, but we'll capture any unanswered questions and put the responses on our website in the next couple of days. So you'll receive a link to access them. So if I can welcome back the panel. Great. So yeah, we've got lots and lots of questions coming through. So I'll read out a few at random. One question for you, Amy. There's been a few questions saying, when are the BT rooms going to come to other areas? So yeah, about Northern Ireland or Derbyshire, Manchester. So yeah, if you have any info on that.
Yeah, so I did see a few questions about location, and if we're not currently in an area near you, I'm really, really sorry. Hopefully Age UK have got something that's more local to you. But the way that we decided on our core locations, core areas of focus, was we really actually just took the steer from AbilityNet, and they kind of said to us, like, these are the areas where we've got the biggest pull and the biggest need. So we felt that was really important to go where there was already that desire and people wanting these skills to help. The ambition, though, is to keep growing. As I said at the beginning, we've already added one area. So my hope and the intention is that we will keep building on that and add more locations. So if it's not now, sorry, but you know, hopefully there will be. And some of the locations that people mentioned are also areas where we have got hubs of people from BT Group. So you know, it would make sense for us in terms of volunteering populations. That's also a consideration as well. So we may well be setting something up in those locations. If it's not yet, though, I'm sorry. And I also I saw there was another question as well about age. Again, yes, you know, there's so many people who we would love to support with these skills. We just felt that age was quite an important one. Sometimes thinking about the demographic of a typical BT customer might be slightly older generation. So somebody that, and particularly people that might be more sort of a bit thrown and concerned by the digital voice switch over. So that's kind of what drove our motivation to support people of sort of 65 plus. We've got other programs as well to support different families and younger people. So that was what drove that. Again, fully appreciate there's always more people that we would love to support, but really just wanted to kind of go deep and focus on one group to get that deeper impact.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, hopefully that's answered a few of the questions in one, actually. So yeah, thank you, Amy. And if you do have any further follow-up questions on that, we can cover that in the follow-up email that comes through. So a question for you, Alex. If you're able to describe a bit more about what the smart door lock does, please.
Okay, so a smart door lock would be wired into your smart home, so it would probably be connected to an Alexa and your smartphone. So I'll give you an example. The man from a well-known supermarket, I'm not going to name the supermarket, has just knocked on our door, and so my lovely wife has opened it. Now, and if we were deaf and if we were upstairs, we wouldn't hear the doorbell, and we wouldn't know who it was, or we wouldn't know if it was someone trying to sell us something or the man from the supermarket. And basically what happens is you can actually say, Alexa, unlock the front door, or Alexa, lock the front door. And this means that without you having to go to the front door, you should be able to see on your smart camera who's at the front door, and you can see whether you want to let them in or not. And it's really, really useful for people who might not be able to get out of bed. So, for example, if a carer comes, you'll be able to see on your smartphone, oh, it's Janice, the carer. Okay, that's great. I can let her in. Or it might be someone that you don't want to let in. And it's about just giving that modicum of independence back to someone where their disability might restrict them from doing things.
Okay, yep, thank you. Hopefully that's answered your question. So there's a question for Kathleen. Are you able to describe the training for the digital volunteers, what that entails?
Absolutely. So Age UK this year produced a training suite which is available to all Age UK staff and volunteers. It's a suite of 9 training modules, and it's all available online on Moodle, and it covers a whole host of different things that you might think are appropriate to be able to deliver this. So practical guidance for running sessions is a big one. That's around finding the goals for the older person and then kind of working out a useful plan to help move that learning journey forward. We've got topics on online safety and how to look out for, things that look a bit funny or a bit dodgy, or who to contact if you do think that something is amiss, all the way through to a brief introduction to those kind of typical topics that people are likely to be interested in at the beginning of their learning journey. So as I say, I won't list all 9 of them, but they take about 20 minutes to complete. They're really interactive, and yes, they're available to the Age UK network.
Fantastic. There's a separate question that came in before the webinar from somebody that couldn't attend live, and it was, do you have any suggestions about how to persuade reluctant relatives about the benefits that they might get from using tech? And that's really a question to everybody.
I can certainly kick that off, because it is something that we do think about loads and loads, particularly as awareness raising is such a big part of our delivery model at the moment. And what we've really, I guess, taken to understand is you need to find the hook. You need to find that thing the person is really interested in, or might need an extra hand or a bit of help on doing. So it's not necessarily about having a lesson, about learning something that's really dry or dull. It's about connecting with your family in Australia. It's about being able to have the simplicity of having your groceries delivered to your doorstep. So whatever their interests are, I would find that and then lean into it if possible.
Yeah, very good points.
I would totally agree. I think that's the same approach of, find that what's going to be the motivator for that individual, rather than learning something for its own sake. It's what's the end goal that they can get out of it. Is it FaceTiming that person, as you said, in Australia, or just being able to listen to music on Spotify or any other streaming platform? Find the motivator, I would say.
Thank you. Alex, I think you might be on mute. I'm not sure.
I think Amy's so right. It's the motivator. So if they just want to see cute puppies running around, just go on YouTube. You know, it's just something just to hook them in. And I think once people start to see the benefits, slowly but surely they'll get more engaged. It's just trying to engage them for that initial stage, isn't it? That's really important.
Yeah, absolutely. Just see, we've probably got time for one or maybe two more questions. There's a few tech questions. So another one for Alex. So the apps that you mentioned, can they be downloaded and used offline? Somebody has said that they use a couple already, but others look great. So just a question about that.
I'm pretty sure you might be able to use Steam AI offline, but I would need to go away and have a play. And my eyes would not work online because it needs someone to come to your aid. I think what I would say is that if the concern is that it's going to use an awful lot of data when you're seeing AI or Be My Eyes, I don't think that's a really valid concern. I think that the time that you use it, it wouldn't use that much data. What I will do is I will go away and do some research and try and give a definitive answer. It might be useful for whoever made that query just to put in the chat why they might want to use it offline, because I mean normally you wouldn't go offline to use those sorts of apps, but I'm sure you could if you really needed to.
Okay, thank you. So I think we'll end the Q&A there, but like I said, we'll gather up the responses to the remaining questions and add them to the webinar recording page. So you should still receive your response. So just to say thank you ever so much, Amy, Kathleen, Alex, Denise, Louise and Freya in the background helping from AbilityNet for joining us today. And I also just wanted to share a bit more information that might be of interest about AbilityNet. So as mentioned, AbilityNet offers free IT support at home and online, plus tech-related fact sheets and webinars. You can call our helpline on 0800 048 7642 and look at our website at /at-home. And also, if you have tech skills and you'd like to share them as a volunteer, then we'd love to hear from you, so that you can access information at /volunteer. And then if you can move on to the next slide, Louise, we'd love it if you're part of an organisation. It's an organisational survey. We're on our 3rd annual Attitudes to Digital Accessibility survey, which is open for responses now until the 30th of September. So we're looking to gauge what the organisational approaches are to digital accessibility. So if you are able to complete the survey, that would be great. It's at abilitynet.org.uk/attitudes. And then on the next slides, we've got information about our online training sessions on digital accessibility and inclusion. So you can find out more at /training. And if you use the code AbilityNet Webinar 10 when booking, you can save 10% on all our courses. So coming up, we have embedding accessibility in your organisation on the 21st of September, and then accessibility for copywriters on the 28th. And then we also have options for staff training via e-learning, so you can complete that online at any time. And in particular, we have a focus at the moment on helping you help yourselves produce accessible content. So do check out our resources at /accessible-content-resources. And then finally, you can also sign up to our newsletter for the latest announcements about digital accessibility. So we have accessibility services for all types of organisations. And don't forget about our next free webinars at /webinars. So we have how will artificial intelligence change accessibility testing on the 26th of September, and then tech tools for dyslexia at work, in education and at home on the 3rd of October. So that's it from me, and just thanks again to everybody who's joined us. Please do complete the feedback form that you'll be directed to, and we'll be in touch with you very soon. Bye everyone.